השרת, מלכי עליון, מי מלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, ברכוני לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful to see so many of you, and even more wonderful as Rabbi Bellows and I talked about really making this Shabbat all about gratitude. Wow, gratitude. Well, gratitude I have for seeing some faces that I have not seen in a very long time, or maybe faces that I've seen in a box, but how wonderful, even in our masks, to be able to be together and to see each other. And as we welcome in Shabbat, we do so with our candle blessings. And for those who are joining us online, this is a great opportunity. If you have candles at home, to grab those, to grab a Kiddush cup and a little bit of a drink as we join together welcoming in Shabbat. And as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. So we welcome in the light and the blessings and the warmth of Shabbat. We join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And for those of you at home who might have a grape-based beverage, I invite you to take it up. And for those at home and those here, if you are able to, I ask you to please rise for our Kiddush as we say a blessing over our wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. And we say together, L'chaim, to life.
L'chaim. You may be seated. So this week's parasha is Parashat Vayishlach. And we kind of come toward the sort of end, not the end of Jacob's story, but the end of the focus on Jacob as we move in to focus next on the Joseph story. But this week's parasha has so much going on in it. Jacob, as we learned last week, took his brother Esau's blessing. He took the birthright. He ran to Haran to his uncle Laban. It was there that he worked for 7 years, thinking he was going to marry Rachel, but he married Leah. Then he worked, and so on. We come to this week, and Jacob is ready to leave. He's ready to return home, to take all of his family, and to head back to Canaan, or to the land, what would become the land of Israel. He is ready really to part ways with his father-in-law, Laban. He takes his wives, his children, he takes everything that he owns, and he leaves. And what we learn next in our text is that Rachel has taken an idol from her father's house. We don't know why she took this idol. The text doesn't tell us. All that we know is that she took it, and what we know from it is that it gives Laban a great excuse to go after his son-in-law and his daughters. He charges up, finding Jacob and saying, "Someone has stolen something from my house." And Jacob says, "No one took your idol. We don't need your idol." And he invites Laban to look around. Rachel happens to be sitting on it. They don't look underneath her, so they don't find it. But Laban is really insistent. And Jacob says, unfortunately, to prove a point, what he says is, if anyone in my camp stole that idol, basically he says they will come to an early death because of this. Little did he know that just a little bit further along in this parasha, Rachel would die giving birth to Benjamin. Why did she take this idol? The text is silent. The rabbis give all sorts of, discussions about it, but really they more focus on the punishment for taking the idol as opposed to why she took the idol. And I've been asking myself, what would compel her to do that? She has already been established as Jacob's wife. She's given birth to Joseph, and we know that Joseph is Jacob's favorite. And seemingly everything is okay in their lives. But I wonder, what are the emotions that she is feeling as she prepares to leave home? Yes, we can say home is certainly where her heart is, with her husband, with her sister, with all of their children. But she's been in Haran, in her father's house, or at least living in the area of her father's house her entire life. And so I wonder if she's needing something to connect her to her father, to her home. And perhaps taking that idol was just something that she grabbed, not out of a desire to worship it or use it for what Lavan had intended it, but a desire to hold on to something tangible from her parents' home. And then I shift to thinking about home, because home is kind of an interesting term for Jews, or for the Jewish people. Yes, we have Israel, our biblical homeland, and today, the only Jewish country in the world. And we have all of those countries that many of us once called home: Russia, Poland, Spain, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Germany. The list goes on. We've been at home in almost every space and place in this world. So many places, and yet, as much as those places often felt like home, too often, Jews could not get too comfortable. Next week, as we think of home, we celebrate a uniquely American holiday. Yes, there are other countries that have a Thanksgiving holiday. However, the American Thanksgiving is actually uniquely secular and American. It is, the Pilgrims tied it to Sukkot, but after that first Thanksgiving, once it was established as a federal holiday, it was done so actually as uniquely a secular holiday. But for decades in the Jewish community, we've asked the question, is Thanksgiving okay for us to celebrate? Are we allowed to celebrate Thanksgiving? Because in Leviticus, we're told not to practice anything else that other people practice. Can we celebrate Thanksgiving? Yes is my answer, and yes actually is the answer for many American Orthodox Jews, great rabbis. And yes, there are some Jews in the United States who do not celebrate Thanksgiving, who believe that it is not our holiday to celebrate. Thanksgiving is, of course, about giving thanks, and Judaism teaches us that gratitude and giving thanks shouldn't be just relegated to one day a year. Often that's why some people said, what's this day of Thanksgiving? We give thanks every day. Because we're taught that we're supposed to say 100 blessings every day in order to practice our gratitude. Thanksgiving, we can think of it as kind of a secular Shabbat, this national holiday where many of us, maybe not all of us, have the day off. We slow down, we are more mindful, and just like on Shabbat, we don't ask for things. Just as in our prayer service on Shabbat, we don't ask for things, so too at Thanksgiving, it is that time for us to offer gratitude and offer thanks. And so the feelings that we cultivate by doing that can extend beyond the holiday, just as it can for Shabbat. Thanksgiving offers us the opportunity to replenish ourselves and find that measure of gratitude. And it's an opportunity for us to remember that we, the American Jewish community, that we share a similar story to other American religious and ethnic communities. We came here seeking a better life. We came here seeking religious freedom. And we American Jews, like all immigrant groups in the United States, we strive to find that balance between fitting in and that balance to retain the traditions of our families and retain those traditions of our past. Sometimes this might mean picking up, quote, new traditions along the way and figuring out how to link them to our Jewish life. And perhaps this is what Rachel was thinking about, linking the past with what was going to be her present. And so on this Thanksgiving, as we prepare for this Thanksgiving, Instead of focusing on the American story of the first Thanksgiving in Plymouth Rock, let's think about our own families, our own pilgrim stories, because our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents were pilgrims just in the same way of those who landed at Plymouth Rock. What brought our families to the United States? Do we know our family stories? What items did our families bring with them, like Rachel, to remind them of home? And what foods and traditions from Judaism do we incorporate into our family's Thanksgiving traditions? Anyone eat matzo ball soup at Thanksgiving? Oh, interesting. If you read the PJ Library books, there's lots of discussion about kugel, noodle kugel, and matzo ball soup. Very interesting. Tonight, as we welcome in Shabbat, tonight we're going to focus on gratitude and the importance of recognizing the blessings and the gifts that are in our lives, even when we find ourselves in the midst of difficulty and in the midst of darkness, reminding us that we are partners with God and that we are partners in receiving and in giving blessings every day of our lives. A prayer, Gratitude, by Rabbi Cheryl Lewart. When you are filled with gratitude, acknowledge the abundance in your life with thanks. Appreciate all the silent angels who made this moment of gratitude possible. Honor those who came before you, who endured and thrived, or maybe only survived. Bring your awareness to the small sacrifices and sheer good luck that makes it possible for your heart to overflow with generosity and thanks. As you remember the gifts in your life, hold on no matter what, so that every step on your journey will bring you closer to dreams realized and promises kept. Amen. And tonight we're going to sing through our service interspersed with some blessings of gratitude and thanksgiving. And we'll begin on page 130.
We begin with Lechuna Ranana. Lechuna Ranana, yai lai 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 lai, la Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nariya, yai lai 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 lai, Zurishenu, yai lai 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 lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechune ranana, yai lai 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 lai, la Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nariya, yai lai 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 lai, Litzur yishenu, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. And on page 131, we sing a new song together, Shiru Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along, all the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz ala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabala lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabala shamor b'zachor b'dibor echad Ishmi'anu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shamo echad B'shemo tiferet v'lichi la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabala lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei I can tell people want to clap. You can clap. Here we go. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nisucha sofa aseh b'mashavat chila la 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 lecha dodi likrat we rise and face the back b'nei Shabbat nekabala lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela boi b'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabala. Come on, this is like a kick line. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And we remain standing and we continue on page 146 with the Baruch Hu.
Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
And we continue on page 148 as we thank God for the beautiful earth creation and for the magnificence of light rolling into dark and dark rolling into light as we watch each day unfold.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Golel or mipnei choshech, into night, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
And we continue on page 152 as we join together just our voices and we hear the blessing of community and the blessing of us rejoicing in God together as we join in Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vayed.
And as we are seated, we may be seated and we'll continue together in the English on page 154. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. And a blessing not in your prayer books, a moment of blessing by Alden Salavi. Every breath and every blink, every moment and every heartbeat, each one a blessing. This is a moment of blessing. Blessings given, blessings received. Every trail and every vista, every journey and every homecoming, each one an adventure. This is a moment of adventure. Adventures alone, adventures together. Every sunrise and every sunset, every crash of thunder and every roar of the sea, each one a moment of majesty. This is a moment of majesty. Majesty from heaven, majesty on earth. Every birth and every death, every love and every loss, each one a mystery. This is a moment of mystery. Mysteries hidden, mysteries revealed. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, God of blessings, God of adventures, God of majesty and God of mystery. You fill our days with your glory and our lives with precious gifts. Praised are you, source of love.
Page 158, we ask the question, who is like you, God? Mi chamocha. Kodesh, Nora Tehilo, Tosefele, Nora Tehilo, Tosefele. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced, they danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a woman of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she danced towards the light. La 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 la.
And we continue now on page 160 as we ask for God in this evening prayer of peace to spread a shelter over us, a shelter of protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Hashkivenu Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim
We turn in our prayer books now to page 164 as we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avod V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Sohomech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umidomelach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Page 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. And we turn in our prayer books to page 177. And we take a moment to think of those things in our lives for which we are grateful as we join together at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And we turn ahead in our prayer books to page 371. And there we take a moment to think about those in our community, our friends, our loved ones who are in need of healing. And this Shabbat, I know many of you are thinking of loved ones who are in need of healing. And if you are thinking of a name and would like to share it, I'm going to ask everybody to please rise if you'd like to share a name. And together, we will recite those names, adding them to our blessing this evening. In this Shabbat, we also send blessings of healing to the Marquette High School community and the De Smet High School community. Certainly as we think of the 3 students that were lost this week and the 2 who are recovering and healing in the hospital. We hold those communities, their families, their friends in our hearts. Blessed is the Holy One. May God be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit as we join together in singing Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a moment for silent and personal prayer.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when we feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-dredged pavement, keep on moving through the water, stay ranging. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. Might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. All will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like oh yo, oh yo, 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 oh yo. One day, one day, one day, one day.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Stacy Rolfe. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here for United Hebrew, and I'm going to go over all of our announcements with you. So a lot of fun things happening in the next few days and upcoming week. You're really going to like this, okay? So tomorrow, Torah study begins at 9 a.m. Shabbat morning service is at 10:30, and at 6 p.m. we usher out Shabbat with Next Week Now Havdalah. This is where it gets fun. Upcoming events, joining Rabbi Bellows and other United Hebrew families for a Shabbat experience and discussion on how to do the November-December holidays at the Missouri Botanical Garden on Saturday, November 20th at 10 a.m. So that's tomorrow. 10 a.m. at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. Please visit the United Hebrew website to pre-register. You have a beautiful day for that tomorrow, too. It's really going to be nice. The next opportunity to volunteer for Tzedakah Days will be on Sunday, November 21st. That's this Sunday. In addition to what the students are doing during the religious school, everyone is invited to join us from 10:30 till noon, either at United Hebrew Cemetery for a cleanup and book burial, or at United Hebrew Campus for beautification projects. Hanukkah is coming up. It's November 28th through December 5th, and UH has a variety of programs planned. At 6 p.m. each night, join us virtually on Facebook and live stream as we light the candles as a community. Mascots and Menorahs is December 1st at 6 p.m., where Fred Bird and Louis, the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Blues mascots, will join our clergy in lighting the Hanukkah candles in the United Hebrew parking lot. That will be very fun. Join us for a special Hanukkah Shabbat Nash with a latke bar and Sufganiyot, I knew I was going to say it backwards, on Friday, December 3rd at 5:45. Our annual musical Hanukkah Shabbat service will begin at 6:30 with candle lighting. Join Rabbi Bellows for Hanukkah in the Caves on Sunday, December 5th at 2 p.m. at Merrimack Caverns. That is, I think, a great idea. Merrimack Caverns is fun, you guys. If you've never been there, it's great to go. What? Well, there you go. It's always Corey coming up with that stuff. During the entire 8 days, enjoy a Hanukkah Film Festival with 8 nights of award-winning films presented by Menishma Films and Chai Flicks. For additional information on Hanukkah and other upcoming classes and programs, as always, please visit the United Hebrew website. I'd like to thank our greeters, ushers, and our tech team for everything that they do. And with Hanukkah right around the corner, our United Hebrew gift shop is a great source for gifts and your Hanukkah needs. The gift shop is open on Sundays from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. when religious school is in session and by appointment. And I will stress that if you need anything, you guys, we have one of the last remaining Judaica stores in St. Louis. All of the other stores have closed from the other congregations, so we are so lucky. Ours has been running for years and years. Iris will come in at any time that you just call ahead and make arrangements with her, and she will come in and meet you, and you can do your shopping. So what I would encourage you to do is not only when you go in there to buy your Hanukkah candles, because she has some beautiful choices, not only when you go in there to do that, do a little shopping. It's a great way to support United Hebrew. It gets your shopping done. But I would also encourage you to tell your family and friends about it. It is not just Judaica that's in there. You can go in and buy beautiful dining pieces and platters and beautiful bowls and candlesticks that are for anyone. So I would tell your friends, a lot of people, especially right now, are not interested in shopping in malls or in stores where they're crowded. And you can guarantee that you can set up a time with Iris that you can come, you can have the shop to yourself. And I think that's really something that's special that we have. We need to take advantage of it. We need to support it because we need to keep that going. That's a really special thing that we have here at United Hebrew. So go get your Hanukkah shopping done, your birthday shopping, anniversaries, all of that stuff can be covered in the shop. Okay, are we good? Anything else? Okay, thank you and have a good night.
We're going to always have you do the announcements, Stacy. Always, always. Stacy mentioned anniversary shopping, and we are celebrating an anniversary this evening. And what an honor to call forward to the Bema on the occasion of their 50th wedding anniversary, Barry and Sharon Eichen. Blessings, blessings, and gratitude for this evening and this celebration of 50 years of marriage. May the God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless the two of you, Barry and Sharon, who are here in gratitude for all the kindness and blessings
that God has given you since your wedding day 50 years ago.
They have been privileged to build a Jewish home harboring love and harmony and soccer, peace and companionship. May their marriage covenant continue to be strengthened by love, peace, and mutual respect.
And may God continue to protect the two of you. May you further enjoy God's blessings in the years to come, embraced by the love of your children, your family, your friends, grandchildren, so you may always live in peace and companionship. And 50 years ago, as you stood at your wedding under the chuppah, you likely heard these words of blessing, words to carry you forward into this new journey in your life that now is 50 years in the making, and what an honor to bless you with the priestly benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God continue to bless the two of you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's presence continue to shine upon you and be gracious to you both.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may the presence of God in your lives, may God's presence continue to surround the two of you. And may that presence of God in your lives bring to you shalom and shalem, wholeness and peace in your hearts, in your minds, in your home. And to that we say, Amen. And we say Mazal Tov.
Mazal tov.
And now we're going to ask everybody to please rise as we turn to page 586 for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
You may be seated. Cantor Hochberg, we've missed hearing your voice in the congregation. We continue on page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. This Shabbat, the heartfelt condolences of our congregation go out to the family of Dr. Sean Lewis Birkin. We are in the period of Shloshim for Dr. Maurice S. Eichler, Tanya Francis Palmer, Esther Price, Thomas Tom R. Rothwell, Norma Scallett, Leslie Stephen Wagner. This week, the Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeits and we lovingly remember Rabbi Nathan E. Barish, Arnold A. Bergson, Dr. Aaron M. Bernstein, Isidore Bernstein, Alfred Blank, Gloria Bloomrosen, Meyer Bloomrosen, Ruth Freed Blumberg, Jerome Jerry Brash, Miriam Choten, Jacob J. Cohen, Rose Lux Cohn, Saul E. Cohn, Leona Rothberg Cosentino, Abert S. Davis, Rosa Essler, Pamela Sue Essman, Jack Herman Faintich, Joseph H. Feldman, Sam Feldman, Faye Fisher, Al Friedman, Albert Goldstein, Louis Golliber, Lottie Golub, Barnett G. Goodman, Maurice Gottlieb, Anne Greenfield, Albert P. Harris, Lorraine M. Kay, Sanford S. Kussmer, Renee D. Lang, Herman Levin, J. Burton Levine, Kenneth Levy, Samuel Liner, Joel Mallon, Barbara S. Mathis, Shirlene H. Melman, Nathan Molos, Sadie Opper, Sylvia Osberg, Sydney Oswitz, Gerald B. Packman, Harry Papierner, Louis Paskowitz, William Quicksilver, Pearl Radloff, Anna S. Rickelson, Norman Lewis Robertson II, Milton H. Rudman, Harry Sander, Nathan Sander, Pearl Sander, Sidney Schenker, Evelyn Schieber, Marion Schneider, Carol Tyner Schneider, Fanny M. Schwartz, Edwin I. Schanfeld, Ida Schultz, Sonia J. Silverman, Rudolph S. Singer, Bessie Smith, Sarah Sobel, Leonard Sova, Robin Lynn Stein, Louis M. Steinbach, Mary Goldstein Stoller, Bess Strauss, Emmanuel Euchman, Alvin B. Vittert, Helen Wagman, Leonard Wagner, Bertha Waschauer, Sidney Winehouse, Bert M. Weissman. Zichronam livracha, may each of their memories be for blessing. As we turn now to page 598, and we rise for the recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal ve'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divra Chirute V'yamlich Malchute, B'chaye Chon Uvyome Chon, Uv'chaye Jehol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olmei Almaya, Yit Barach Ve'yish Tabach Ve'yit Pa'ar Ve'yit Romam Ve'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar V'yit Alev V'yit Halal Shemei Dekudasha Barichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiram Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. And a Thanksgiving prayer by Rabbi Mara Lee Gordon. In this moment, mindful of our many blessings, may we form an intent to carry gratitude with us continually. May we leave fear and jealousy by the wayside, making room in our hearts for contentment, satisfaction, and compassion. May we start each day counting our blessings, the blessing of being alive, the many miracles of the living world we are one with, the ability we possess to love and be loved, the many gifts and talents we have been graced with, the support we receive, and the support we are able to extend. May our gratitude lead to action. May we express our gratitude. May we smile when we encounter each other on the path. May we seek opportunities to share our talents with others. May we express our love to one another. May we give with no expectation of receiving. May we seek to repair what is broken. May we end each day counting the day's blessings, those we have received and those we have bestowed. May we be a blessing.
And may all of that lead to a time of peace. And we ask God to help us a little bit on our journey toward peace. Ose shalom. Ose shalom. Bimroma. Huya. Ase shalom. Aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Ose shalom bimromav. Huya ase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Ose shalom bimro. You can clap, of course. Huya ase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Ose shalom bimromav. Huya ase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, and looking ahead to next week, happy Thanksgiving.